Good day, everyone. It's me, Lori-Lynn, with Spiritwithinus, and thank you once again for coming to my channel, and welcome to another Journey to Soul reading. Again, I'll mention that if you're new to this, that my readings are not meant to predict the future. They're actually meant to give you guidance, inspiration, and tools to move forward, revealing some of the shadow aspects of yourself. Today I thought I was actually going to do a meditation, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. And so today I just wanted to do a little bit of a reading on the virus, and perhaps because lots of us are at home right now, or those who are working, I just want to maybe add some clarity to maybe what it is that on the personal level that you need to be working on at this point. So I'm going to start with the overall energy, which I'm going to use the tarot deck, and then I will provide with which would be the universal lesson, and then provide with a lesson for like 5 piles, just one single card. So the first card that comes to mind, it comes up, is the 9 of Wands. And Wands are always about doing action, taking action. But in this card, and this is from the Mystic Tarot, and in this card you can see that there's so much emotions that are people seem to be getting caught up in, but yet knowing that it's past that, over that the action actually takes place. So it's having to step outside of those emotions, which is not very easy to do, especially at a time because there's so much unknown. But the truth is, the clarity is going to come outside of the chaos, outside of the emotion, back into the calmer waters where you can actually just sail up. So you're needing just to find that place within yourself. So my suggestion is beginning each day with a clarity meditation, a clearing meditation, which again I'm going to upload either this afternoon or tomorrow morning, so that everyone is able to do that, to find that place of calm within themselves, learning, of course, how to breathe and how to center ourselves. I teach meditation and breathing techniques, which have helped enormously a lot of people, because we forget to come back to the present moment, and we just get so caught up in all of this, and this is so many, it almost looks like a tornado, and that you're logging against the rocks, and that's because we're just getting consumed by our thoughts. And so we need to find this break so that we can get to the other side of it. I would suggest, because of this up in the top here, there seems to be a lot of people questioning their own intuition, because it's become fear-based. So that's your gut, which is fear-based. So walking away or stepping backwards from the fear base and going back just into a calm thought, saying to yourself, that thought means nothing to me. I can do this. I got this. Whatever it is to calm your mind. If always just going back to the breath, just breathing in and refocusing. And if you do that 10 times, you can refocus your mind, and you can bring thoughts into it as well, because you can, if you breathe in, you can say calm, and then you exhale, and then peacefulness, and then exhale. So if you continue to do that, you can get to these waters that, even though all of this is going on around us, the more people that stay calm, the less stress that's around us, the more people we are able to help. Okay, so that's the first card. The second card, wow, is the card of 3 of Cups. And so I think where this is coming from is the right now we're all being held back from getting together, from gatherings. Those that are, I'm going to say, smartest or most conscious of what's going on are the ones that are keeping their social distancing intact, that are paying attention to that are being very conscious of it. And it's important. And celebrations can still go on in another manner. So perhaps it's just asking us to become more creative in our celebrating. There are a lot of places that have become creative. Like, how do we get together as a community? I know my roommate and I have started to, in our town, our city, we're to make pictures and put them in our windows, so that it's almost like a little hunt for kids or people that are going for a walk, and they can look at that window and say, hey, I drew a picture of a heart, and she did Bugs Bunny, because today's theme is animals. So I've got to figure out what my theme, or figure out which animal I'd like to take. So it's learning how to celebrate, and perhaps at that same time is a reminder to yourself that you are protected by spirit, and that energy that you receive is a very conscious energy, and it's always around, and it's a choice whether or not to be caught up in this chaos, or to be calm. The calm waters are right here. So it's actually people, perhaps maybe you'll be helping people in order to stay calm, to be who they are, to find themselves, and there will be a celebration together. So there is a unity that needs to happen. Okay, so the final card in this essence is the Four of Cups. And how I always see the Four of Cups is, especially in this deck, and it's kind of clear, the Four of Cups are about people gossiping, people, and there's two sides, and you being in the middle. So that's why it's so important to stay centered and calm, and that's exactly what she's doing, is staying centered and calm, finding that love within herself, and being able to go to that place, even though on both sides, and that's what we have. We have, and I'm not saying media being the news, I'm saying media being a lot of social platforms right now are really by charging into our space, and so it's creating more of a sense of fear. And so this is being able to listen to both sides and being extremely or completely unaffected by what's being said or what's going on, knowing your truth within yourself. So even, the good and the bad, but it's always trying to weigh on both sides, and that's these two. And so keeping your focus on the fact that it's the mind, body, spirit, heart, and keeping all of those four things balanced. So as you're learning and knowing that spirit is with you, that you can have these clearer waters, and this is on the other side of the chaos. So just remember that is to find your balance, what's important to you. You get to choose how you move forward. You get to choose what is important to you, and then also you get to choose what to say to others and what you can bring to others, because this is a lot about you bringing some sort of positivity and brightness into other worlds. And so that's the overall energy. And so for the personal messages, I'm going to use the Soulful Women's Guide book cards. It's a deck that I love, and we had this card yesterday, so interesting. Okay, so this actually very much lines up with exactly what is being asked of us, is that instead of just allowing, really open up and ask for how you can help, or how you can, if you can't find that place of peace, to ask questions of your inner being, and that if you're quiet enough, you can find your answers. And honestly, whenever you don't know what to do, turn within and ask for guidance and answers. They're always going to come to you. They just may be slower, or sometimes they'll come fast. It could be a sense of knowing, a nudge, an image, a name, a next step. But right now, it's to almost reinvent, rediscover, for yourself, recreate what life is going to look like, say for the next month, because it's unknown. But decide that what you are going to do and what your part in that is. So ask, and Spirit will guide. There's really no question. If you ask from the heart, aligned with your head, with your mind, so to keep all your thoughts positive, and you really are at this point making choices about the awareness of your path. And again, it's really getting clear. So perhaps prior to what's transformed at this point, you have been thinking about maybe a new career path. Where should you be going, or and what you should be doing, and maybe that's the opportunity at this point. And so when we ask sincerely, we're always guided back to the right path, to your central purpose. And perhaps this is a hobby, perhaps this is it's new to you, but sometimes we get let off our path because we get too busy. But each time that we return, we always return with more knowledge and wisdom gained from exploring the shadow sides of our journey. And so that's taking a look at ourselves and asking why and how. Often setbacks or detours give you a broader perspective, and we return with useful information. So quite often we're asked, well, what would you do or would you change anything in your life? Well, if I knew what I knew now, of course I'd go back and change things, but I had to go through everything that I went through in order to get to this place in time. So each time that I returned, I became truer to my journey, my course, and I was much clearer and much stronger, much more ready to live peacefully within myself and my chosen path. And just knowing this should reassure you. And sometimes we can only know what we want by experiencing the contrast of other paths, or by falling off our paths. And therefore then being excited about our journey. So being able to see that. Lost my dog, sorry. But being able to see your central purpose. And the final card in this regard is listening to my body. So that is, again, the cards have been asking us to go within and to ask and to pay attention. And so, again, I've said this the other day, but it's putting our own health and well-being first. That may seem selfish, but it's not. It's selfless. Keeping yourself healthy allows you to help others in a way, in a manner that is necessary. So your health is your life. It's your body, and your body is the temple of your experience. And so everything that you've learned, everything you've done, is every bump in the road, it's all part of your body. So by putting your health first, you put the quality of your experience first, knowing that that experience that happened transformed you, and this allows you to make the best choices. And making choices for, say, sleep, food, relationships, and spirit. And this always becomes a very healing journey that leads us to a deeper understanding of our incredible connections with our bodies. And so being aware, I do have a friend who has posted a video about COVID-19 and different herbs and natural foods that we can be taking, and he very stern regard to stop eating mucus building foods. And so take care of yourself, take care of your energy, anything that's dragging you down. Listen to your body and know when it needs rest, know when it needs food. You're extremely intelligent. Use that intelligence to experience positive health and well-being, and allowing yourself to heal from any illnesses whenever possible by releasing poor health, poor habits, or self-neglect. And so it's important to love your wellness and take care of your body. And with that, being grateful for each and every single day. Those are the things that are most important for everybody at this time, is to really listen to our body, to hear what it's saying, so that as we move forward, we're healing. And so take this time to heal. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'm going to shuffle the Shaman's deck and Oracle deck and pick 4. So you can begin by choosing a number between 1 and 4. And I hope you can see that. The first one is the peach calcite. The second one is the green calcite. The third one is the crystal calcite. And the fourth one is the Herkimer diamond. And just pick one of those 4, and I'll lay the cards down. Just 2. I'm also going to do this to see which spirit or which lesson is necessary today at this time for you. And then I'm going to do the intention deck below that, and then one of the archangel cards. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to rearrange all of this. If I move the camera, then it's going to move everything. But I think we can get on there. Okay. So that's the first one. And then the second card is the intention from the spells book. I pulled the intention cards. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And finally, here, angel deck. This is just what you need to do to take part in, participate in this space where we're at, where some are lost, or it's a huge time for healing, I believe, that we can do on our own, even if we are working at home. So the first is the pink calcite, the second deck is the green calcite, the third is the crystal, and the fourth is the Herkimer diamond. So if you, I don't know if you can even see that, if you want to choose one of those, and then I'll continue on. So move these over. Okay, so let's start first with the peach calcite. Okay, so the first card is the Ancestor of Exile. And so this group of people perhaps are feeling a little bit more alone, or that they're not doing as much or as they're normally. So it could be people that are used to being busy. So it actually feels like quite an exile. And so the Ancestor of Exile, honestly, he helps us to understand the different kinds of separation as he has watched the suffering of those who are driven away from places. So this could be a deeper exhale. It's perhaps you have not felt like yourself, or so far away the path that you really belonged. And so he's asking you to call upon him. Just ask Spirit, ask for your guides, to find your way back to the place of belonging, drawing strength when you need reconnection and the support in times of loneliness. So if you are perhaps by yourself, you're not, there are a lot of people that are living alone, but you can even be in exile with a partner or within a community. And so maybe that's because you don't have a great sense of worth or self-understanding or self-love. And so that's why it's really important. And it may be because you just know from listening to your body, from doing this discovery, that you do have an important role to be playing at this time. And so he wants to restore you to a sense of wholeness. And these here kind of, they're horns, I guess. And it kind of shows that you can keep that distance. And here it is not keeping the distance. And so the sharp spike of emotional solitude can be painful. And so you need to open up, ground yourself, listen to yourself, and to discover why you felt detached from others or any other aspect of your life. What is the role that you've played, and what can you do to move forward? And so, wow, okay. Well, the card of the Archangel card is the card of victory of Archangel Sandalphon. And so he says that your prayers have been answered and heard. Have faith. So perhaps you have been calling upon this. You've been asking for clarity. You have been listening. And so know that your prayers have been answered. They've been heard. And then you just need a little bit of faith. Maybe a lot of faith, a little bit of faith. To have that celebration that we were talking about. And so find a different creative way to celebrate all that is in your life, rather than saying, I don't have this or I don't have that. Celebrate yourself to others in any way you can. I'm just getting there needs to be a new kind of creativity for you, an aspect that you can reach out and connect with others. Wow, okay, so this makes complete sense. And so the card is, this is the intention deck, is lucidity. And it says this spell brings clarity when you're stuck in a fog. So it does seem that this part are people, well, for most people that feel really stuck. And perhaps that's just noted through this distancing that we have to do. And so on the new moon, which has just happened, on a white cup candle, place a few drops of rosemary oil. to invoke Mercury, the messenger of gods. And then anoint your third eye with the same rosemary oil, and repeat. All channels spring wide open, visions and decisions crystal clear and fully realized. So really what's important is when they add candles bring energy, and it keeps the flow of energy. And sometimes the smells, this is just my personal belief, the spells themselves or the ointments that we're choosing to use, it's just a reminder. So when you would smell that rosemary oil, it would remind you that all channels swing wide open, visions and decisions crystal clear and fully realized. And so now is your time to do that one thing, or that several things that you've always wanted to do, to open up, write a book, whatever it is, but to open up. So I hope that brought you some clarity along this part of your journey, and I wish you the best. But see the victory and have that celebration that is so necessary at this time for you. And my candle has gone out. I lit it again. So the second deck, which is the green calcite, is the first card is the Dancer of Joy. And so for yourself, it seems to be is just adding some joy, some excitement. It's creating your own sense of being, your own sense of celebration. And so to take on the Dancer of Joy, just being joyful for the very fact of being alive, for the wisdom and the sense of fulfillment that are everywhere around you. So get out there and go create, and just keep moving. But you just need to almost shake it up yourself and discover your path, the path that you must take. And so just reach out and really embrace, like go outside and do that, I call it the Titanic, where you just open up and you just open up all of your energy circles to the sunshine and to the air, and to feel that all, and to perhaps then just dance. Joy enters us at moments of heightened awareness, of delight and passion, of truthfulness and hope. It carries us far above any other feeling or experience, and establishes us within us a core of energy that is always there to be tapped. So we need to tap into that, or this group needs to tap into that sense of joy and happiness. And perhaps this group has, people that are around you that may be feeling, I think they need to feel this energy within themselves and spread this out. Like radiate this from within yourself and spread it out to those around you. Okay, so the card of from the Archangel messages is clear your space. And so to begin with, again, and I said this before, perhaps it's time to do a little bit of clearing within your home or within your space, your personal space, and so that you're able to just move forward as joyously. Actually, her arms are spread out exactly the way I was thinking of, but to just ask to be cleansed and to be cleared, so that you have that energy that's always around you, and then maybe set things up that make you feel more alive, more at home, more spectacular. Don't be in such a cluttered space that you want to have energy. So cluttered space can be within yourself and outside of yourself. So it's time to clear all of that. Okay, so this is actually a magical, very magical. It's a 6-pointed, it's a hexagram. The 6-pointed star reveals universal God, goddess, divine energy, spirit, and is used for invocations, and it's the language of magic. So this is true intention. And so really to focus and set your intention on the integration and being receptive and active with that receptivity. Work within this wisdom by drawing and finding that creativity within yourself. Connect to the 8th star, your soul star chakra, and connect to the divine, because this is where all magic takes place, and we bring it back, we send it out, and we bring it back to our lives. We materialize that within our lives. So that's what this is about, is you making a choice to share that, to clear the space, to be as positive, to be as positive towards all that really require it. So you may be getting out far more in a different manner than you actually had thought or intended. Okay, so that's the second pile. The third pile is the crystal. Wow, okay. So all of this, very interesting, is, you know, you're asking for a pathway, you're asking to open, you're asking for direction, and the shaman of foresight comes. And the shaman of foresight always goes before us to clear to look ahead and guide us in the direction and the manner in which we most need to go. And we see this within our third eye. So he travels the road before you, bringing back reports of what lies ahead. That's your third eye connection. And he teaches you to see beyond this moment and to live in such a way that whatever new tasks you undertake, you are always ready to adjust accordingly. And so that means is that you try something, you have a vision, you know where that vision you're going because you're just being led that way. But always stay in the moment, because at any moment you may need to take a little bit of a detour. And so that detour will be presented to you. He prepares the way ahead, ensuring that where your journey leads you, you will enter into each moment with clear intent and true perception. And so he's helping you to find your way to your destiny. And I believe as a collective, this is also something that's really important for us to be doing at this point, is to, as a collective, he takes us safely past the obstacles or traps and beyond stormy seas into calmer waters. In the past, our ancestors didn't know, had no idea, and it was something that they just had to learn, and it was to living to now and to knowing what our intention is. The whole intention is great, but you still need to live in the present. So it's knowing what the intention is, setting the intention, and moving towards that. Interesting. So whatever you're choosing, the pathway that you're choosing at this point is Archangel Ariel, and she is saying be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. And so she will bring you that strength that you need. And so if you're looking to change, to bring new creation into your world, into your life, call upon Archangel Ariel to be courageous. And the final card, which is of the intention, is the Gaia card. And this is really to remember to ground yourself. You may be feeling disconnected from the earth, or you have a lot of anxiety about what's going on. And so sit into a meditation, or sit in some sea salts and some oils, and some natural oils such as cedarwood, birch, patchouli, anything that's woodsy, and into a bowl, and then soak in that to ground yourself. So it's really becoming grounded, especially at times that you may feel that you're a little bit out of sorts. That's the best way forward for you at this time. So the final card, which comes from the Hermite Diamond, and this card is the spirit of family. So that's going to tell me right away that you really need to reconnect this time with your family, and spending more time with your family. That's probably the most important thing. Perhaps there's problems within the family that you need to reconnect with, to re-enter a new space with. And so spend your time, make sure you have time doing that, and incorporating everybody into games or unity together. And if you can't be together, then to do it online, or however it's necessary for you to do that. But it's really connecting with the whole family, and it's part of your role is to do that, to help, to ensure as you're moving forward. Very interesting is the Archangel Uriel, which is from the Archangel deck, and it's you know what to do. And so trust your inner knowledge. And this is what we're saying is in the other cards, is that listening to others is fine, but you've asked, you can light the way. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it. So you'll know what to do. You'll know how to do it. You have it all inside of yourself when you become quiet and find that bright light within your own space. And so the intention card is Venus, my favorite. She's the goddess of love, fairness, and abundance. Venus is also known as Aphrodite, and she radiates and inspires grace, sensuality, and devotion. So you can do this with grace, with charm, with just the pureness of who you are. And that's by being loving and kind. This is something about yourself showing other people, rather than it's being, embodying the person that you want to be. And so that the family or the people, community that are around you are going to take lead from you, what you are doing. And so keep that in mind, and especially if they're young kids, but anybody really, they want to take lead from you because they see you as an inspiration. And so some of them, you might want to draw some lavender, jasmine, and a little bit of honey, and put them together, and just sort of as a reminder, that would be a nice little scent on you, and allow Venus's charm to radiate with abundance and love, and keeping everybody together. Okay, so that's the final reading. I hope that I was allowed to bring you a little bit of insight of what's happening at this point through this period that we're at, and to find your way through as necessary. So tomorrow I'm going to do a meditation online, and so thank you for being here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, it'd be great. Like and share, that'd be appreciated. And namaste, have a wonderful day. Peace be with you.